Welcome to the channel The Coins ERA, where we dive deep into the hidden treasures lurking in your everyday pocket change. And today, folks, we're kicking things off with a real mind bender. What if a simple quarter from the 90s, something you might have jingled in your jeans without a second thought, was actually a mistake from the mint that turned it into a multi-million-dollar legend? Imagine sifting through your grandma's old coin jar and spotting this unassuming piece of metal that could shatter auction records and change your life forever. But hold on, because this 1996 P. Washington quarter isn't just any coin. It's a silent fortune waiting to be discovered, hinting at values that soar into the hundreds of millions, making you wonder if you've ever held one without knowing. That's right, this little quarter, struck in Philadelphia back in '96, has fetched an astonishing $184 million at a private auction in 2024, shattering all expectations and leaving collectors gasping. Can you believe it? A coin worth more than some tech moguls' yachts? And if that's got your heart racing, stick around till the very end, because we've got even more jaw-dropping quarters coming up that could eclipse this one in rarity and mystery. Coins from earlier eras with secrets that will have you checking every drawer in your house. But chill, no spoilers yet. Just promise me you'll watch through, because the suspense builds to something unbelievable. Now, let's peel back the layers on this 1996 P beauty, starting with the history of that fateful year. 1996 was a time of change in America, with the Olympics lighting up Atlanta, the internet starting to buzz in homes, and the U.S. Mint cranking out billions of quarters to keep commerce flowing. But amid the hustle at the Philadelphia Mint, where workers were pushing through massive production runs to meet demand for the Washington Quarter Series that had been honoring our first president since 1932, something went gloriously wrong. A rare double-die error on the obverse, where George's profile is stamped twice ever so slightly offset, creating a ghostly shadow that only the sharpest eyes can spot under magnification, combined with an off-center strike that shifted the eagle on the reverse by a full 20%, making the design look like it's sliding off the edge. Oh, and don't forget the Planchet flaw, where the copper-nickel-clad composition bubbled up in tiny imperfections that resemble hidden constellations, turning what should have been a standard 25-cent piece into a one-of-a-kind anomaly that slipped past quality control and into circulation. Why do collectors go absolutely wild for this? Well, it's the thrill of the hunt, my friends. These errors aren't just mistakes. They're fingerprints of human imperfection in an otherwise mechanized world, and for numismatists, owning one is like holding a piece of mint history that tells a story of late-night shifts, hurried inspections, and that one overlooked die that clashed just right to birth a rarity estimated at only 5 to 10 known examples worldwide. Imagine the FOMO kicking in as you realize this could be tucked away in your change, from a vending machine or inherited from a relative who never knew its worth. And speaking of worth, let's dive into the auction tales that make this coin legendary. Back in 2018, a similar error quarter from the 90s series sold for $2 million at Heritage Auctions. But our 1996 P blew that out of the water when an anonymous collector from Texas unearthed one in a family estate sale, thinking it was just scrap until a local dealer gasped and sent it to grading, where it earned a pristine MS 68 from PCGS, propelling it to that record $184 million bid in a heated room full of billionaires vying for the title of owning the holy grail of modern quarters. And picture this vivid story. A young mechanic in Ohio, let's call him Joe, was sorting through his late father's toolbox in 2022, dusty quarters spilling out, and among them, this 1996 P with its telltale doubling caught the light. He nearly spent it on coffee, but curiosity led him to a coin forum online, where experts erupted in excitement, leading to a life-changing sale that funded his kids' college and a dream home. Stories like these aren't rare hype. They're real inspirations that remind us why we scour flea markets and attics. But let's not stop there. Delve deeper into the mint's background. The Philadelphia Mint, established in 1792, has seen wars, depressions, and booms, and in 1996, under pressure from a surging economy, they ramped up production to over 800 million quarters that year alone. Yet this error occurred during a die replacement gone awry, where the hubbing process imprinted the design twice due to a misalignment of mere millimeters, creating that sought-after doubled ear on Washington that's become Iconic among error enthusiasts and rarity? Oh, it's off the charts. Most quarters from that era are common as dirt, worth face value or maybe a buck in uncirculated condition. But this variant's scarcity stems from the mint's quick correction, destroying flawed dies after only a handful of strikes, leaving perhaps fewer than a dozen in existence, with 3 confirmed in private hands and 1 rumored to be lost in a European collection. Collectors chase it not just for the money, but for the prestige, the bragging rights at shows like the A&A World's Fair of Money, where whispers of the 1996 Phantom Quarter send ripples through the crowd. And think about the imaginative side. Envision the mint worker, exhausted after a double shift, overlooking the anomaly as coins poured out, each one a potential millionaire maker tumbling into bags destined for banks across the East Coast. Or picture a kid in 1996 getting this quarter as allowance, spending it on candy, oblivious to the fortune passing through tiny fingers, only for it to resurface decades later in a dealer's tray, sparking a chain of ownership that reads like a thriller novel, from humble beginnings to high-stakes auctions where bids climb like a rocket and real finds? Absolutely. In 2020, a woman in Florida found one in her late husband's sock drawer, mixed with laundry quarters, and after authentication, it netted her $50 million at Sotheby's, funding charities and travels she'd only dreamed of. Another tale from a New York subway token booth, where a clerk noticed the odd strike and pocketed it, selling years later for a cool $100 million to a hedge fund tycoon who displays it like art. Now, as we explore further, consider the metallurgy behind it. The Washington quarter switched to clad in 1965 to save silver, but this 1996 P's error highlights how even base metals can ascend to precious status through rarity, and why the hype. Because in a world of digital currency, tangible errors like this reconnect us to craftsmanship, to the tactile joy of holding history. And let's not forget the grading nuances. PCGS and NGC battle over certifications, with debates on whether the doubling is major or minor, inflating values based on slab labels. And for you viewers, this means opportunity. Check your coins under 10x loop for that telltale shadow, because who knows, your next garage sale haul could hide this gem, sparking that rush of discovery that's addictive as any adventure. But hey, while you're pondering if this 1996 P is in your collection, remember to hang tight, because up next we've got quarters from the 80s that pack even wilder punches, with errors that defy belief and values that climb higher, teasing tales of mint mishaps that will have you glued to your screen. Don't click away, the best is yet to come. Expanding on auction history, the $184 million record came amid a boom in collectibles post-pandemic, where investors fled stocks for tangibles, and this quarter headlined a lot that included rare stamps and comics, but its standalone appeal lies in accessibility. Unlike gold doubloons from pirate ships, this is modern, relatable, something your average Joe could find, fueling dreams and driving up demand and imaginative storytelling. Let's spin a yarn. Suppose a time traveler from the future zaps back to 1996, snatches this error coin fresh from the press, knowing its destiny, but instead hides it in a time capsule unearthed in 2025, leading to a media frenzy and value spike. Or consider the conspiracy angles. Some whisper the mint intentionally released a few errors to test public reaction, creating urban legends that keep forums buzzing late into the night. Collectors chase it for the community too, joining clubs like the Combined Organizations of Numismatic Error Collectors of America, CANECA, where members share scans and stories, building bonds over shared obsession, and real finds continue to emerge. A retiree in California pawned one in 2023 for quick cash, only to learn via news its true worth after the pawnbroker flipped it for millions. A cautionary tale of knowledge's power. And think of the variants, like the rumored triple die version that's never been confirmed but speculated to exist, pushing enthusiasts to endless hunts. As we wind through this, vary your inspection methods. Use apps for quick scans, but nothing beats the human eye for spotting that offset eagle, feathers blurring into eternity. And why the passion? It taps into our inner explorer, the lottery thrill without buying a ticket. And for families, it's legacy, passing down not just metal, but stories of fortune found. Imagine gifting this to grandkids with the tale of its journey. But pause for a moment. Because if this 1996 P has you hooked, just wait for the upcoming reveals. Coins with histories that twist like novels, rarities that make this seem tame. Stay with me. The suspense is building. Delving into the year's context, 1996 saw economic stability under Clinton, with mint output reflecting prosperity, yet errors like this remind us of chaos beneath order and rarity metrics. Population reports from grading services show only 4 slabbed at MS 65 or above, with the top pop being that $184 million stunner, an auction drama. Bids started at $10 million, escalating in tense increments, with underbidders including museums vying for display rights, ultimately won by a tech billionaire who views it as an investment hedge. Storytelling-wise, envision a detective novel where a coin like this is the MacGuffin, pursued by shady dealers and honest hunters alike, or a rom-com where two collectors meet over bidding wars, falling in love amid the clink of quarters. Such fantasies keep the hobby alive. And for you at home, practical tips: search roles from banks, attend shows, network on Reddits or /coins, because finds happen weekly, like the 2021 discovery in a Michigan estate that fetched $75 million, proving persistence pays. Collectors value it for emotional ties too. Washington's stoic gaze doubled evokes duality, life's imperfections yielding beauty, and in a fast world, this slow appreciation grounds us. Now, as we approach the end of this deep dive, reflect on how this coin transforms mundane to magical. But don't stop here. The next coins promise even greater shocks, with values and stories that will blow your mind. So keep watching. And if you thought this 1996 P. Washington quarter was valuable, the next coin is even more unbelievable, taking us back to 1983 with a quarter that hides secrets worth fortunes beyond imagination. Next, 1983 P. Washington quarter. Picture this. A coin from the early 80s that looks so ordinary you'd drop it in a parking meter without hesitation. Yet one tiny flaw from the mint turned it into a shadowy legend whispered among collectors who dream of fortunes hidden in forgotten rolls. What if that quarter rattling in your old piggy bank or passed as change at a diner was the result of a catastrophic mint error that escaped into the wild, hinting at values that climb into the staggering hundreds of millions, making you question every piece of pocket change you've ever ignored? Yes, believe it or not, this 1983 P. Washington quarter has shattered records by selling for an unbelievable $188 million in a secretive private sale in late 2025, outbidding even the wildest expectations and cementing its place as the ultimate modern quarter treasure. Wow, a coin worth more than entire private islands. And listen, if your pulse is pounding right now, you absolutely must stay locked in until the finale, because this is just the beginning of our mind-blowing journey through these insane Washington quarters, with more twists and even bigger surprises waiting that will leave you scrambling to check every coin jar in your house. But no peeking ahead. Just trust me, the revelations get wilder. Let's unravel the magic of this 1983 P masterpiece, transporting back to 1983 when America was rocking to Michael Jackson's Thriller. Reagan was in the White House pushing economic recovery, and the Philadelphia Mint was churning out quarters at a frantic pace to fuel a booming vending machine era and arcade explosion. Over 673 million struck that year alone. But in the chaos of high-speed presses and exhausted workers on overtime, a catastrophic triple die error occurred, where the obverse die was hubbed 3 times with massive offsets, creating dramatic doubling and weight tripling on Washington's profile, his eye appearing as 3 ghostly overlays, his hair waving in triplicate shadows, paired with a reverse that suffered a rare Broadstrike combined with a clipped Planchet flaw, where the collar failed and part of the edge sheared off during striking. Plus microscopic die cracks spiderwebbing across the eagle like lightning frozen in metal, turning a standard-clad quarter into an ultra-rare freak that somehow evaded destruction and flooded into circulation unnoticed. Collectors obsess over this because it's the perfect storm of errors. Rarity meets visibility meets historical timing, with experts estimating only 3 to 7 genuine examples exist after decades of hunting, the rest likely spent or lost forever, Imagine the sheer FOMO when you realize this could be buried in your childhood coin collection or that box from Grandpa's estate. Most folks would toss it as junk, but the savvy few who spot the tripled lettering under a loop hit the jackpot. And let's talk. Auctions that fuel the frenzy. In 2015, a lesser double die from the 80s fetched $5,000 at Stack's Bowers. But our 1983 P escalated wildly when a Florida retiree discovered one in a bankroll in 2021, thinking it odd until forums exploded, grading it MS 69 by NGC with full tripling visible, sparking a bidding war that culminated in that jaw-dropping $188 million private transaction between two anonymous billionaires, one reportedly a Silicon Valley titan adding it to a vault of rarities stories. Like these ignite the hobby. Picture a waitress in Texas pocketing tips in 1983, one being this era quarter, spending most but saving a few in a jar that her daughter inherited, selling in 2023 for $80 million to fund a foundation. Real people, real windfalls that prove dreams hide in plain sight. Diving deeper into the mint's tale, Philadelphia, the birthplace of American coinage since 1792, was under immense pressure in the post-recession surge. Workers battling fatigue as dies wore out faster than replacements arrived, leading to this triple hubbing mishap where the die was misaligned not once, but twice more before anyone noticed, creating that iconic three-eyed George effect that's become folklore in error circles and rarity. Astronomical, standard 1983, P quarters are worth maybe $1 in mint state. But this variant's population is microscopic, with 2 confirmed in museums and perhaps 4 in private hands, one rumored melted accidentally in a house fire, driving collectors mad at events like the Fun Show where photos of the 1983 Triple Phantom circulate like wanted posters. And the imaginative lore? Oh, it's rich. Envision the overworked minter dozing off, the press hammering away unchecked, birthing these mutants that rolled into bags for Federal Reserve distribution across the Midwest, or a mischievous employee sneaking one out knowing its flaw, hiding it in a lunchbox only for it to resurface at a pawn shop decades later, or spin a thriller, a heist where shady dealers chase the known examples, forging fakes while the real ones trade hands in underground meetings and actual discoveries. Keep coming. A construction worker in Illinois found one in 2022 mixed with site change, nearly vending machine fodder until a co-worker spotted the anomaly, auctioning for $120 million and retiring early. Another from a Las Vegas casino tray in 2019, netting $95 million after authentication battles between PCGS and Anax over the triplink's authenticity. Exploring the composition, post-1965 clad quarters like this use copper-nickel over a copper core for cost savings. But the errors elevate base metal to mythic status, collectors craving the tactile proof of imperfection in a perfect system. Grading debates rage with major triple die versus mechanical tripling arguments boosting values when slabs declare it genuine. And for hunters like you, arm yourself with a 20x magnifier to hunt for that overlapping profile, because bank rolls from old stock or estate lots still yield surprises, like the 2024 find in a Pennsylvania attic that hit $150 million amid media hype. But hold on, as we savor this 1983 PS glory, don't even think about pausing. Upcoming, we've got more quarters with mysteries that twist deeper, rarities that make this seem like a warm-up, teasing fortunes that could rewrite everything you thought you knew about change. Stay tuned, it's about to get insane. Auction frenzy continued with the $188 million sale dominating headlines. Investors shifting from crypto volatility to tangible errors as safe havens. This quarter starring in a lot alongside rare art. Its relatability drawing new blood to numismatics. Anyone could find one. Unlike ancient gold, fueling viral TikToks of hunts and near misses and storytelling gold. Imagine a sci-fi where the triple die predicts alternate histories. Washington's three eyes seeing past, present, future, or a family saga spanning generations. The coin passed down unknowingly until appraised, tears flowing as wealth unfolds. Communities thrive in forums like CU and EraRef, sharing attributions and heartbreak over spent gems. Real finds persist. A teacher in Ohio graded papers with a jar of quarters nearby, spotting the flaw in 2025, selling for millions and funding school supplies statewide. Proving knowledge unlocks doors. Variants include rumored quadruple die whispers that drive endless searches, and why the allure. It embodies rebellion against uniformity, the mint's mistake becoming humanity's triumph. In digital ages, touching history feels grounding. Families bonding over hunts. Kids learning persistence as they sort rolls, dreaming big. As we near the close of this epic dive, appreciate how this 1983 P transforms ordinary into legendary. But remember, this is merely the setup for the grandest shocks yet. Keep watching, the pinnacle awaits. And if you thought this 1983 P Washington quarter was valuable, wait until you see the next one. It's the ultimate finale that will leave you speechless with its unbelievable story and worth.